Good morning, New Eden! Today is October 30th, 2022, and this is the Federation Frontline Report. I'm your host, Frozen Fallout, and my co-host is Nightflyer.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Today we will have Samson back on the show to report on a battle that took place in Murethand on October 28th. We're also going to be talking about the upcoming changes to faction warfare, what they look like on the test server so far, and what events that are taking place in EVE Online leading up to this expansion. So Samson, how's space been treating you these days?
Space has been treating me pretty well. I like killing, and people they come to my gate, they come to my system, our system. Sorry, I get possessive sometimes, and they blow up, and sometimes we recruit them, sometimes they just get butthurt.
I mean, it really is your system. You just you have.
Well, I'm only in the top 3, I think.
Well, now, top 3 in the last what? You moved there 6 months ago.
Yeah, I'll get to the top eventually. I just the same thing I did to Notorious. I'll do the same to Evanger, promise. So it's a little bit higher bar. But.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about this battle in Murethand. How do you get involved in this?
So I'm going to pull up the battle report, and then I'll give you a little, let's see here. Where's my screen? There we go. A little background. So it started like any other day, middle before lunchtime. I was setting up a little solo gate camp, solo in quotation marks. It's me and myself and I are in the gate camp. And a buddy of mine, Taserface, shows up in local. He's an alt of a buddy. And I was just like, let's give him this good old salute, 07. Yeah, how's it going? And then he messages, salutes back and messages me, hey, there's going to be a battle, big battle. Escalation is expected. I was like, okay, what do you want me to bring? It's like in the next hour. And I was like, he's like, I'll just show up at HQ. They'll be handing out ships. And I was like, all right, sure. Yeah, sounds good. So I immediately hopped on over there, and they started. Staging was already starting, and so I was like, I'll be happy to fly anything. Like, just throw me in there. I just want to be a part of this. It said it's going to be big. I want to survive it, or at least get some kills. And Young Puke, shout out to Young Puke. He was the FC. He set everything up, and he started handing out ships. He goes, anybody that's in amulets and can fly a Lashak, trade me now. And I was like, oh man, I can't do that. I don't have amulets, and I can't fly a Lashak. But then the second thing he said was, can anybody fly a Bailgorn? I was like, yes, me, trade. And so he handed me a Bale, and we were instructed to be full newts, which is my jam. So I was super happy about that. And so we had an interesting little event take place. So what we did was we all staged, at HQ, and you can kind of see the makeup here of both sides. We're on the right over here. We got a lot of like Tempests, Scorpions, Bailgorns, Paladins, Leshaks for days, Maulers, Lokis, Damnations, etc. On the left here, the attacking force got a lot of Drex, some Guardians, and look at look how red that is. Look at all those Drex getting blowed up. Guardians
so it
too.
Looks like 3 Drex got destroyed.
Yeah,
2 Guardians, and a bunch of Confessors.
So these Confessors are actually Spearfishers. This was a Spearfisher group that got fucked. Oh, pardon my French.
So yeah, you better watch your fucking language on this goddamn.
Yeah,
show.
I better.
This is a family cooking show.
Another Spearfishing group down here in Megasis got wrecked.
So that was Shadow Cartel. It looks like for one group of them. Was it all Shadow Cartel, or
I think this is this Black Lance? No, it's Lightning Squad. So Lightning Squad, Shadow Cartel. Yeah, mostly because there were also a bunch of Hecates that tried to get us. Yeah,
trying to fuck anything.
No, yes. So the Hecates, the Confessors, the Megases, these were all individual groups that came into Spearfish. So what happened was we brought this ridiculous force over here.
What was the total ship set was brought on your side?
On our side, let's see. According to the 50 versus 60. Yeah. So
62, but the 62,
62,
like half of them are
like spearfishers and other random groups.
spearfishers.
Yeah. So like I would say about like 30, enough to fill up my entire overview was what the attacking force I think had on grid. It seemed maybe those were the spearfishers were there too. I don't know, maybe, but
and who are the attacking forces here? That's band apart, right?
ABA, yeah. Band apart, Stay Frosty, in critical effect here, and theoretical mass. Yeah, Stay Frosty was a big, which was fun. I was like, oh shit! Like after the kills came through, I was like, oh shit, that was a band apart. I didn't know and realize that because I knew nothing going in. I was not the intel person on this at all. Like all the other intel, all that stuff was going on the other end. I literally just showed up and hopped in a battleship and went out with these guys, and it was awesome. And on our end, we had of course the Gal Mills, Sedition, the Network. We had percussive pizza time, diplomacy. Of course, I think I was the only Federation frontline. We had, let's see, Spaceship Bebop, Horngry. Let's see. Astarothi. Astarothi was present, as you can see right there in a Paladin. Astarothi was flying with us, so that was really cool. Convocation of Empyreans, and then we had Aderon, of course, Aderon Robotics, all involved in this fun. There's more Aderon guys down here. Percussive Pizza and Sedition. Sons of Luminaire.
Yeah, so how much was destroyed on both sides here? I believe it was like 50-50 almost, right? So
yeah, so it looks like on our side, what had happened here, so yeah, it's about 50-50. We got 3.3 billion on their side and 3.38 billion and 3.6 billion on our side. What happened, we killed all of these guys. All of this stuff on the top here, we killed all. We killed, our fleet killed everything you see on this side. That I'm looking at this right now, and I can tell you we killed everything. Except maybe these guys down here, I'm not too sure about. I know I killed a pod. But like over here, the losses pretty much include what happened was this Tempest got spearfished, and I believe this Paladin, I don't want to, also got spearfished. So a Paladin and a Tempest got spearfished, and these guys I'm not as sure of, but I think there was part of this the regular main battle. But yeah, it's really this Paladin, because the Paladin's worth 2.2 bill, we caught there are 2 Guardians, 3 Drex, 1 Blackbird, 1, 2, 3, 4 Spearfishing Confessors. Not too sure about these frigs. I'm sure they were involved. They're probably tackle, actually. So these 3 tackle
band
here.
apart, it looks like, or
yeah,
Kaldari.
Or this one was, yeah, and yeah. So those are tackle, and then these spearfishing Maguses, these 3 here, and 5 spearfishing Hecates, and again, these guys might have been tackle. I think that would make sense. The slicers, harpies. But yeah, so it was a really fun battle. A lot going on at first. Could be overwhelming, but we had a great FC. So I just wanted to. So I have the video here.
Real quick though, can you explain what spearfishing is for our?
Oh yes, absolutely. So spearfishing is in this case, they're trying to catch stragglers with their. Generally, a busher is involved, because if you have a micro jump, what's it called? A micro jump drive. Well, it's the field generator, micro jump field generator on a command destroyer. You can do what's called bushing, where if anything within fishing with a spear, Steve. Anything with within, I think it's 6 kilometers, maybe less. When you spool up that micro jump drive field generator, it will do them what a micro jump drive does, which is push you 100 kilometers, away from your position in whatever direction you're aligned to. However, it will also take everything around you within an area of effect 6 kilometers. So with a 6 kilometer area of effect will take you with you 100 kilometers away. So the idea is to divide and conquer.
Command the situation.
Command the situation. Divide and conquer. Say you find a straggling battleship that's just a little behind everybody else. You boosh in, or one booshes in, and then one of them booshes out. So there's multiples of these guys, and they take the battleship with them. So now they're 100 kilometers away, just fighting that battleship, and then we all have to burn towards them, or if we have jump drives, whatever. So spearfishing in this, in the context of this, is because you have a large, like it's usually like a battleship or something. They want to try to catch a battleship away from its big group, which we had a huge group of battleships. And it did happen a couple of times, but it was still really fun. It was a really fun fight, and thankfully I didn't get spearfished, and I didn't lose the ship that was handed to me. I was able to hand it back at the end of the battle.
Also, I, Steve Taylor TV, thank you so much for the 8 months of subscribing in a row. That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
Huge support for the show.
I'm always on the gate with Steve. But yeah, so let's see here. Do you want to go into the video?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the video.
Okay, let me see here. I think I need to switch over. So to stop this, and then I'll have to do it again. And then pick this guy, and then go live. Okay. There we go. And now it's ready here.
Yep.
So, speaking of spearfishing, this is a little event here that happened. So basically what happened at the beginning of this video, right before this happened, we basically, the attacking force, which you see on the right here, all of these Drex, and then there's some at the top that are like Hecates and Megases and stuff like that, are like the spearfishing groups, but everybody else is like the attacking force. We're defending this structure. I probably forgot to mention that in Murethand, we're defending a structure in Murethand, and I think it was an armor timer, and we had we were really close to the end of the timer, and basically we just determined that they're not going to ref the structure. After all, they're not gonna try to take down the armor, but they stuck around, and the spearfishers, of course, stuck around. So here's what I'm just gonna play this little part here, and then I'll explain what happens.
Pissed.
Jesus.
Oh, they didn't push the.
They didn't push.
Yeah.
Guys, sorry. Get tackle on all the stuff that's on us. Oh, it's free ported now. Never mind. God damn it.
Dude. That's funny. No, that's why they didn't boost, is because they got tethered and they couldn't boost themselves.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That worked.
It worked. Big brain.
Exactly how we drew it up, right?
So what happened was they came to spearfish us, but we had previously, FC had ordered the structure go freeport because some of us couldn't tether, which was pretty, it's bad for spearfishing. If one of us can't tether, then they can just take us away. It's like, well, it's good for spearfishing, I should say. And but he ordered it to switch to freeport, and then what happened was they all booshed over, and then all of them got tether except for like one of them, and then when they tried to boosh away, they just left all their guys there. So we're all like, oh shit, they're still here, let's kill them, but they were tethered, so we couldn't kill them, but they also couldn't take our stuff. So it was pretty funny, and it was a fun little deal that happened early on. Let me see if I can get all right. So then what had happened was, actually I can look here, we started burning over towards the attacking force because they were sticking around. Here we go.
Collins, if you guys should go and puke.
Yeah, I know.
Is that one Guardian that's like 30 away from us baited?
Exactly. Ready? Guys.
You taking damage? Sarah, you taking damage?
Darn. Oh, perfect. Guys, lock up Darnwood. Lock up Darn now. Lock it up. Everyone lock up Darn. Links back up. Drones out. Everyone shoot Darn. Shoot Darn. Shoot Darn. Triage go in. Triage 1 go in.
Go on triage.
Call webs. Throw some heat. You're gonna lock up this Dracovac called Watson next.
Scream on top.
Nice. Shoot Watson. Everyone on Watson's
Web
next.
Watson.
Shoot Watson. Shoot Watson. Call Webs. Thank you. After Watson, guys, we're gonna shoot the Blackbird at Hunzi. My Paladins, guys, if you can just kill that Blackbird so he starts jamming us. Shoot Watson, guys. Everyone on Watson. Everybody on Watson. You guys are
I'm
doing
so
great.
not used to
Shoot Watson.
how
Shoot
slow
Watson. Shoot
battleships
Watson.
are.
Hicks, you need to be aware now because we're gonna try to boosh if you can.
Takes a while.
Yeah, they're
Okay, now
coming.
shoot the Blackbird. Just shoot the Blackbird. Shoot the Blackbird. Shoot the Blackbird.
Web.
Oh, now shoot this Drekavac called
Blackbird's
Magoo.
explode.
Lock up Lady as secondary. Magoo is first. Magoo is first. Magoo first. Then Lady. Shoot Magoo in the Drek, then Lady. Drones out, guys. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Nice. Doing great. Triage, tell me if we're not holding anymore.
We're holding. Easy.
Yeah, but only one guy broadcasted that needed
That's
it.
fine. Lady's next. Lady's next. Guys, let's shoot Lady. Shoot Lady. Shoot Lady. That's fine. Who's the Paladin I got booshed?
Oh, that's when
Keep
you're
shooting Lady.
paladin.
Keep shooting Lady. Keep shooting Lady. You're gonna shoot
Yeah.
Light, Lil, Red next. Broadcast it. Then Co-Colors is secondary. Or tertiary, sorry. You guys are doing great.
But I mean,
Oh,
I
now
just,
shoot Lil. Now shoot
I
Lil.
don't think I've
now
ever been
shoot
in a
Lil.
fight where my
Lil in the
entire
Guardian.
overview
Call
was
Webs.
filled
Call
with
Webs if you can.
enemies,
Prop mod should be on, guys.
and I
too, by
wasn't
the way.
already
Cool.
dead. Like,
Shoot Lil Hood Rat. Lil Hood Rat.
Rare in low sec. Yeah.
yeah.
Bigger than
Call when you're halfway through triage.
30-man fight. Is, you know,
Roger.
Yeah. And we had
If you can just come back to this
54 in fleet, it looks like.
I got a web on the Guardian.
Oh, he's gonna die.
3 minutes triage.
I have
Cool, you're shooting Kook. You're shooting Kook next. Everybody, you're shooting Kook. You're shooting Kook. You're shooting Kook.
Webs.
Cool.
Webs.
Yep, same.
Scram Coop.
Awesome. Good job, guys. Let's retether up. Let's burn back in.
Yeah. So
If we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a-
we're
we
so-
burned back in after that, and then we had a little bit more action here. Oh, this is just me. That's just me helping someone kill a pod in a Baelgorn. I just think it was hilarious that I neutered a pod in a Baelgorn. And then let's see, towards the end here, yeah, some spearfishers getting caught, which you like to
I'm
see.
shooting-
Damn them out if you can.
You like to see.
shooting a
You're shooting
broadcast.
Dolly. Alright, cool.
Like, how do you not get away
It's TP'd.
in a Hecate? But you know,
Alright,
it's
well,
gone.
maybe I'll just call for a second.
I didn't
Lady
even get
is
to
only
shoot some of these
second.
guys because
Alright,
they were
cool.
so far away. But I got
You
to
can
watch
whenever
them.
you want.
I locked them
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
it's-
watched them go
Tell me
down.
I can
so-
TP them too, so.
Lady is.
Has run out of charges.
Second is
yeah, when you
Cesario.
don't have a weapon that no, you know, if you lock, you can activate.
I'm like free-shotting him.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes.
my
we
nukes
lost
are
it.
too far away.
That's fine,
and
we can just keep
I
going.
tried to put like, I mean, my drones were too far away. But see, that
anyone on the
guy
structure
before I even
camp?
locked
There's
that
not
dude, he was a pod.
1 minute triage.
This guy goes out. Yeah,
Wildbaggers.
Shoot
So just
Wildbagger,
getting-
shoot Wildbagger.
they're just getting wrecked.
Being a big guy.
Don't forget to not heat your prop mod anymore.
Yeah, don't heat
Was that-
anymore, just 2 seconds.
It's
You're all doing
it's
great.
harder to lock things too when you're a big huge guy too.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
But you're just too
Nice,
far
he's
out.
dead. Great job.
yeah.
Sorry,
but
we
it's
avenged
fun.
you. Guys, lock up mid-earth too, the Harpy.
I think they got
He's
that
worked.
harpy. Yeah.
Alright, cool. We can at least pick up
And
your loot,
truthfully, you
dude.
would just be getting on the kill mill for it.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah,
I tried to
absolutely. At
approach you
that
in
point,
triage.
at that point,
No,
yeah.
if the frigates
With
can
the
scoop,
weapons
hey,
that
if the
you
frigates
had,
can
you
scoop
weren't
his loot, guys.
even applying
Yeah.
anything that, you know.
No, but I really liked. I mean, I had drones, but I really liked just being newts and you know, having oh, I just realized that it doesn't go. Okay, yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I could stop sharing. And thanks, Young Puke and everybody involved. ABA, you know, Lightning Squad, all the Gal Mills, Percussive Pizza, Sedition, the network, etc. We had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun. It was one of the biggest battles I've been involved in, and I got to get 6 kills on my board in a Balgorn, so I'm happy.
Nice. Sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, and Frozen was about to be like, he logged on, he was like, I had the day off, and then like something came up. He
Yeah,
left.
I was hanging out
I just
with,
started messaging. I was like, dude,
friend of mine.
this is happening right now.
Yeah, I came back and I was like, oh man, I got a bunch of messages that I haven't.
Yeah, it's a blown. I blew up your Discord. It was funny.
Yeah, I was actually hanging out with a buddy of mine during that whole time and didn't realize it was supposed to be happening. So I was like completely oblivious until it all was over. But that would have been fun to be part of. I'm guessing that's one thing I probably wouldn't have been able to stream, so that makes it less likely. I was just like,
Yeah, and I asked FC specifically. I said I recorded it, so is it okay if I show it on our show, because it's awesome. It was fun. And it's good propaganda.
And you got the permission to do that, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
you got
I know.
the
I said I
yes.
asked him, but I didn't say. I didn't say whether
I
he
asked
replied
him,
yes.
but that fucker
No, he
said
did.
no,
Yeah, he
and
said he
that's-
gave me permission to use it.
Well, there are some other crazy things. Samson, I don't believe that you had time to take a look at the test server quite yet.
Not the test server, no.
But Nightflyer, you got to check out some of the stuff that's on the test server. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, they've put out the sample of the new frontline system and the way that map's laid out. It's really interesting, and it is pretty on spot with the way that Aurora described it during Eve at FanFest. You have your frontline systems, you have your back support systems, and I said it's probably a little more logical to look at it.
The
map is map like that.
The
yeah,
map is beautiful. Like, and it's interactable. You can right click, say I want to go to this system. It shows adjacent non-faction warfare systems.
Yeah, it's definitely a step up. It's going to be really interesting when it goes live. But as far as fighting and that kind of stuff, I missed everything. By the time I got there's nobody in any of the systems, so I said I pretty much just flew around for like a half hour, and then like, all right, well, I'm going back to real work and start taking down some plexes and stuff. So
yeah, that was I checked it out. I did do like a plex for on the front lines and on the secondary line, and then the back systems. I tried to plex in all of them just to see what their initial thought patterns are so far. From my understanding, from what I did it was like 150% increase for doing it in a faction warfare frontline system. It was 150 for the second line system, but I believe I've heard that that's supposed to be 100%. And then,
now, is that the progression towards taking it over, or is that LP? Like what percentage? LP.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a bonus to LP for those systems. Got it.
Right. So if you want to make LP now, you're going to want to do it in systems that are on front line. And the back line systems are generating like a 50% reduction. So backline systems aren't really going to be getting you much. On the test server right now, the missions give you nothing for LP, but apparently that's not going to be the case. Like, this is a lot of updating that they're doing to these type of things, and refining it, and just getting the base stuff in there. But it's supposed to be at a reduction. It's not going to be even 100% of or like the baseline that you would get at tier 2. So missions are still going to be something you can do, but are not going to be the massive generation of LP that eventually gets turned into IST. And that's where I like the idea of missions to a certain degree, but because the way that they're so gameable for individuals to, and I don't really even like doing missions that way, where it's like in a stealth bomber, you're just keeping 60, 150 kilometer range, and that makes it so that you can't really get hit by the NPCs, kill your targets, and get out type thing.
I think that'll reduce the amount of, how you see those groups of mission runners, either multi-boxers or bots, I don't know. How there's always like 6 jackdaws flying through the system, or whatever. That might reduce the amount of that kind of activity because it's less worth it for them.
Yes, and a lot of those are like insta, it's not like you can gate camp them or anything like that. Like,
yeah, they're insta warp. They're usually insta warpers. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't contribute to what we like to do, so it's good that they're going away.
Yeah, I think that giving them a much reduction. I personally, think giving them a different reward than LP might be, in order and stuff like that. But in any case, whatever it needs to be way less than it is right now, and it is going that direction. Nightflyer, have you tried any of the missions at all?
No, not on the test server, and I haven't run any of the faction warfare missions in months. I don't know, it's just not my gameplay right now. So, but yeah, it's something I want to kind of dive into and try out a bit. And I'm hoping the new faction, like, Aurora kind of hinted to, or was saying that some of those missions will be tied into assistance with the front lines and stuff. So that could be interesting if you're running like a distribution thing and you've got to get ammo up to,
those kind of missions. I think would be
that's
really
gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah,
especially if it's got a physical tie-in with the actual gameplay.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of like expansion on the missions. The missions as they are right now, especially when you're at tier 4 and 5, and even at tier 3. I mean, they are on an unbelievable generator of LP.
I think that's probably the problem since Mango came into faction warfare. We've been at tier 1 most of the time.
Yeah,
and I think I did a couple of missions, and I'm like, it's not worth it. If I lose, my destroyer doing this, I'm going to be in the hole. So. Yep.
No, exactly.
And I was trying to keep her self-sufficient so that I didn't have to fund her with my main, or do a plex her. But yeah, they kind of went to this side.
I mean, your LP is worth more being Galente, but the like 225% or whatever tier 5 gives you.
He's like, damn it! So he's out buying a new modem and stuff today.
I think.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I think there we are. Now. I think we're back. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. We were just talking about how my internet seemed to wanted to drop for a little bit there, but we are back. So that's just going to be editing nightmare that I'll have to mess with.
Radio edit.
It's not that. It's going to be a lot more work to make this episode now. That's the whole reason for doing it live was so that it wouldn't be work to edit. Anyways,
right. So we're talking about missions and said, unfortunately, the gameplay, what we've got going on right now in system, if I'm going to devote time into faction warfare, it's got to be on plexing and deplexing. Running missions, it's just going to have to be secondary for right now. We just, like I said, faction warfare is just at a vulnerable spot. I mean, there's just a lot going on.
So let's move on real quick to some stuff that's going on out in the galaxy here. So this is all tied into the updates that's coming, but there's some kind of stellar transmuter crisis and escalation of conflicts that's happening around Athenon right now. So this is talking about how the Keldari, I believe, just got their
Stargate?
Their Stargate up and running, and then there's some minor stuff. So let's go ahead and pull up that video here.
Yeah, they went straight for making the Stargate, and we just were fucking around with them the whole time.
Do you have my screen? It's not. Doesn't look like it's sharing.
Nope, I'm not seeing the share.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. Yeah, I was just thinking, I have like 1.5 million LP that I have to spend now.
Yeah, well, actually,
last time I bought Megathrons, I bought Navy Megas and Comets. I don't know what to spend on now.
So I have like 3 million, 4 million that I need to spend. That's just building up.
I at least want one Navy Mega that I can actually fly, but they're good to sell.
You're gonna knock my internet off. Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, it keeps popping up and then shutting off.
Well, what is it that you want to share? I could probably. Is it this link right here? Oh, there it goes. Watch stream.
Oh, it just disappeared.
Okay, let me try. Is it the transmuter crisis one?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
All right, let me put this over here, and I'll do share this bad boy. And is it this video?
Yep.
Deep concerns have arisen across New Eden following the Amar Empire's activation of prototype stellar transmuters in the Amar-occupied Minmatar systems of Turnur, Vard, and Egmar. The constellations these systems belong to have also seen increased Amar Navy and Minmatar Republic fleet activity in recent months as Imperial forces aimed to capitalize on the strength of the 24th Imperial Crusade's occupation of much of the war zone. That these apparently experimental stellar manipulation projects are taking place far from Amar population centers and in occupied territory has fueled rumors that such experiments bear a significant risk of system-wide catastrophes. Active fighting in and around their locations has only further alarmed the interstellar community. The Amar Empire's captain, Marshal Sirdan Zerkosh, has dismissed protests at the Amar actions and claims that imperial law and interstellar treaties permit infrastructure development and resource extraction in occupied territories. Republic Ambassador Ketan Yun has described the Amar position as delusional arrogance. Republic Fleet Hetman General Count Filmer warned of the grave danger posed by the Imperial stellar transmuters in systems which are traditionally Republic territory and primarily colonized by Minmatar settlers. In response, the Minmatar Tribal Liberation Force mounted an offensive that captured both the Vard and Egmar systems, among numerous others. By this success, the Capsuleer fighters of the Minmatar militia handed control of the Vard and Egmar transmuters to the Republic. Despite the risks, the potential for advances in energy and resource collection technology apparently seem high to the Republic as well as to the Empire. Following the capture of the Vard and Egmar systems, there are no signs that the Minmatar are about to shut down the stellar transmuters. It appears evident that the Republic plans to carry on with testing the technology and intends to develop it for its own use. In the face of extraordinary developments in the Amar Minmatar war zone, both sides apparently remain wary of the risks of escalation to full-scale war between the Empire and Republic. Even so, the respective militaries of each empire are taking further steps to recruit Capsuleers to their cause. Access to new naval ship designs are among the offered incentives for assistance in the stellar research efforts of the two empires. A rapid deterioration in relations between the Caldari State and Galente Federation is threatening to become critical following a number of recent incidents and escalating conflict in the border war zone between the two powers. Earlier this year, a diplomatic crisis followed accusations of Galente involvement in a massive spy ring operating deep within the Caldari State. The mass defection of spies, and particularly the escape of ringleader and Garusta's agent, Esri Hakuzosu, is believed to have caused leaks of advanced technology developed as part of the Caldari Navy Dreadnought upgrade program. Subsequently, the discovery of a derelict Edencom outpost orbiting Athanon 5 and the uncovering of an apparent Triglavian facility on the surface of the planet has attracted the attention of both the Caldari State and Galente Federation. While the exact purpose and nature of the Triglavian facility remains unknown to the public, it is clear that it contains something of great value, as Caldari and Galente naval squadrons have clashed frequently in the contested system. In the midst of the rising conflict, the Caldari State has constructed a stargate in the system of Samanuni. With the support of Caldari Capsuleers, construction of a connecting gate in the Athanon system has also been completed, giving the state a valuable advantage in recovering Triglavian technology. The Galente Federation has likewise constructed a stargate in the Amignan system, but are still struggling to complete the construction of its counterpart in Athanon. The undisclosed technology rumored to be found in the Triglavian research facility on Athanon 5 and associated Triglavian relay sites seems to be of tremendous value as both sides compete in a desperate race to acquire a working understanding of it. Rapid construction of military infrastructure and signs of fleet buildups in the Samanuni and Amignan systems have additionally raised concerns that an all-out war between the two empires is imminent. Concord has urged diplomacy on all parties, but escalation seems set to continue.
Hey, fuck the police.
This is Alton Hovery, reporting for The Scope.
So there is some tidbits in there that kind of are, the Navy dreadnoughts are slated, and that was talked about, and we'll talk a little bit more about that with E-Vegas. Was kind of announced at E-Vegas. There isn't a lot of information as to what their stats or what their costs or how you're going to get them or anything at this point. But it looks like there is a big push in order to get that up and running for the game itself. So that's going to be kind of awesome. And then the thing with the transmuter and whether it's going to be dangerous to fuck with these, and so there's something, we've got another video that we're going to show here. But before we go into that, any thoughts that you guys had upon watching that?
I for the first time in a while, I was kind of excited to watch it and realize that we're sort of like a part of what's going on, in a sense that the event. I know Galente still. It sounds like they're still getting a Stargate someplace else, but like the way.
Well, that's the high-sec outlet.
Oh, the high
for it.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of interesting to actually have participated in something like that and then see it, like the actual story of it, sort of be affected by that.
Any thoughts from you, Nightflyer?
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed I can't share my screen, but that aside.
It's evil.
I can work on the next thing. Is it this is one, right? Yeah. Okay. Well,
I've always been fascinated about the Eve lore, and I haven't really taken part of it, too much. I've tried to study it. I've read some of the books and stuff. But just kind of seeing some of this stuff unfold, like months ago, we had the people escaping, and they were supposed to have taken blueprints and that kind of stuff, and there's rumor and conjecture, and then here we are now months later where they're like, oh hey, now there's going to be these faction dreadnoughts. So it's just kind of see the story unfold. I just wish I was smarter and could kind of decipher this stuff without Astarothi like breaking it down and spoon feeding me. So
that's what he's there for.
I know, I do appreciate him because the way his brain works, and I've said this before, the knowledge and the stuff and the organization he has to be able to pull up articles and stuff that he's written, and I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm glad he's there. But I do enjoy this aspect of it. And as Samson said, it's like now we're taking part in it. Like we're building the gate, we're holding these systems and stuff. And I think the first time in probably 2 years, I really feel like I'm having some kind of impact in this game that's just bigger than me blowing up my ships. So.
Yeah, giving that reason to get out there and fight is always really important. I think I really do believe that the interesting part, kind of talking about that, is that the Galente have unfortunately not taken this event very seriously. So let me kind of pull up something here real quick before we go to that video here. Let's see. So, this is 1 second.
Yep.
So there is these faction campaigns. And the faction campaigns that you have is the Athenon Stargate construction, which the Keldari have completed. From my understanding, is owning the system is extremely important, and owning the systems around this is extremely important into developing this. And the Galente, pretty much just from mining rock alone, have gotten almost halfway there. But they're not even halfway there at this point. 10 million points out of 200, 10 million out of 25 million that need to be accomplished here. Now they haven't put this is the end date of this event, so it's possible that there is no end date because they haven't stated one. So eventually maybe that gate will get built, but it will be interesting to see if they do all of a sudden just go like, well, you guys didn't complete this in time. But I'm guessing they'll give us a heads up if and when. I don't think that you'll wake up one day and be like, oh, the event's over.
Mm-hmm.
There is also this. So as soon as they finished the Stargate construction, this Triglavian research, relay research, became available. And it looks like the Keldari have already finished that, and the Galente are at not even a million out of the 200. Or sorry, not even a million. They're at 800,000 right now out of 25 million. So this is you know, the main thing that you're doing, and one is, you know, for building the gate, you're mining rock, and you have these different sites out in this dangerous area of the war zone that you can go take your mining ship and maybe get blown up, or turn it in and get some. Apparently, so you can get the faction battle cruisers right now and the faction frigates from these kind of events, and they're all going for like billions of ISK right now because there's such a extremely low supply of these ships that are coming out.
Yeah.
But these
Steve was like, I'm gonna buy one of those. I have to buy one of those, and I was like, you can just wait. He was like,
just
nah.
wait. Just wait. It's gonna depreciate in value astronomically. The ships are not in any way, shape, or form, even stat-wise, or especially stat-wise, worth billions of ISK. But there are collectors and first-timers. You know, got to be first. So that don't want to do the event. They'll spend a lot of money to do that. A couple of them got blown up. So there's
Was it Steve's.
not that I've seen. So the Athenor's gate is all about mining, and these mining sites are easy to find because it just pops up.
Yes,
on
he
your
did.
own.
He bought a Ferox Navy for 1.2 bill.
Oh, 1.2 billion. That's not horrible. It was 3/4 of its value in a couple months ago. But have fun with it. Go kick some ass. Then there's the Triglavian Relay, which is going out and doing hacking sites, and I find this to be really cool. I don't do hacking, and I kind of want to start doing it more. I've done it in my lifetime, you know, over the 15 years of Eve, but I haven't done much of it, you know, at all. Just kind of played around with it for a little while. Never been serious about it. But this seems like a cool event to go do this kind of scanning and researching, you know, hacking sites. So I need to actually get out and start doing that. But the big thing is that we've got to own the systems, and the Galente aren't pushing to own these systems. And if you don't own the systems, you're barely getting any progression reward, if at all. And then the person that does own the system gets a huge progression reward for doing that. And I am a little disappointed in the Galente that they've kind of used this as do other things other than that to try and take back some space, you know, better hold our space that we have. But we'll see how this goes. But the Minmatar and Amar are right on track for, you know, the Minmatar are at 20 million, the Amar are at 24 million. And I believe that as soon as they unlock this, there's going to be another gate thing, you know, a new gate thing. I think that they're going to, or some other mining event that they're going to have to do. Because it seems like once we completed our mining event, we got the you know, the hacking sites. And they started with the hacking sites. So it seems like there's going to be some kind of mining event that they're going to have to do as soon as this is completed. And the Amar is at 24.5 million right now, so they are almost done with that event here. And there is some stuff that's kind of going on with this transstellar. So they're doing these hacking sites to get information on these transstellar transmuter, you know, things that are like taking resources out of the stars. And then the video that we had just watched had talked about is there's some dangers with that. So let's go ahead and pull up the video that is talking a little bit more about what's happening over in the Minmatar space again, now that they have been messing around with these crazy transstellar.
The Turnur system's star appears to have been destabilized beyond recovery by the activity of the prototype stellar transmuter placed in orbit by the Amar Empire. Stellar radiation emitted by the star has been fluctuating at ever shorter intervals, seemingly heading towards an imminent crescendo. Scientists
started,
raised
it was
the
very
alarm
dangerous.
upon calculating
Lots of
that the
ships
interval
around. So
between
I was actually in
radiation
a vector
spikes
with
has
a
been
mining drone.
decreasing
I
in
went
a
out,
linear
flew them
manner,
all, like,
indicating that
in
a
a minute.
terminal phase will be
And
reached
then
at around
couldn't
1700
get
hours
to the
New
system
Eden
to actually
Standard
drop
on
the
November 2nd.
stuff
What
off
exactly
because
will
of
happen during
campings
this
and stuff,
posited
so,
terminal phase is debated,
I
but
was
the common
hoping,
consensus is that a
as,
major
Frozen
stellar
brought
event
up,
will
that,
take place.
the Glint, they would
One
kind
leading
to
theory
do
is
more
that a
of these mining
radiation
missions
burst and
together.
stellar mass ejection
So
similar
people
to
would
that
as,
seen during the
group,
Salin
safety
incident of
members would kind
YC-111 will take place. While the output and scale
I know
of
they
extreme
have, I
stellar
just
events can
haven't
vary
been able to take
widely,
part of them,
any
and they're not
effects
that
from
often.
such a catastrophe are expected to be significant across the system. On the orders of Captain Marshal Sirdan Zerkosh, the Amar Empire crew manning the stellar transmuter in Turnur has been drawn down, and engineers are reported to be working on shutdown procedures.
So they're
Orbiting
trying to
closest
stop the
to the
crisis
star,
from
the
happening,
planet
and it
Turnur
sounds
1
like it's
and
just
the
gonna
Republic
happen.
station around it are believed to be at grave risk of catastrophic damage or destruction in the event of a stellar event of similar scale to the Salin incident. Despite offers to raise wages and give substantial hazard pay bonuses, planetary industry workers on
they're gonna
Turnur
give
1
them
have begun
extra
to
pay
evacuate from the planet.
to stay on
Thousands
the
upon
explosion.
thousands of workers and their families are leaving, abandoning their equipment and leaving
Yeah, the
subsurface
sun's gonna
settlements
explode, but
empty
you guys
of
hang
human
on.
life. Amar occupation forces have also long since left the planet, taking their own support workers and slaves with them. The only group willingly remaining behind are those nomadic descendants of the original Minmatar settlers of Turnur 1. These nomad clans lived in isolation for generations before interstellar trade and planetary industry began to make their presence felt on the rocky desert world.
Yeah, here's that
The
cloak right
nomad
there.
clans have apparently been convinced current events are caused by intervening spiritual forces due to the teachings of a shamanic figure known as Tanuk Gufran, the Absolver. He preaches that the planet and wider system will be purged of the conflict introduced by industry and war, leading to a transformation of Turnur 1. The bizarre teachings of the Absolver are taken seriously by Minmatar traditionalists as the ways of the clans of Turnur 1. And combined with the Amar presence, this has stymied efforts to evacuate the sizable yet untallied nomad population. Republic
That
Fleet
weather on
Head
that
and
planet was a
General
lot of
Kath
what we went through in
Filmer
Vegas.
has hit out at the Amar Empire for its reckless ambition and monstrous negligence in deploying and operating the stellar transmuters. General Filmer also condemned the Amar for hindering evacuation of the population from the system. Amar Imperial forces have refused cooperation offers and flatly rejected efforts to broker a truce. The Empire's stance has made it impossible for the Republic fleet to mount a major evacuation operation. Nevertheless, flights of transport ships have infiltrated Turnur and are struggling to move people from the Republic Parliament station above Turnur 1 onto other stations further out in the system. The desperate hope of Minmatar rescuers is that a major stellar event will not doom the entire system and far-flung stations, and planets will provide at least some shelter from any cataclysm. Further complicating efforts to cleanly evacuate threatened populations in Turnur is the presence of the Blood Raider Covenant and the Order of Saint Tetramon. In the general celebration of their annual blood harvesting festival, the Blood Raiders have taken advantage of the increased chaos and conflict in the war zone to mount attacks on evacuation and military flights. The heretic hunters of the Order of Saint Tetramon seek to oppose them, but as a notorious Amar military order, are hardly likely to be welcomed by the Minmatar colonists and fighters in the war-torn region. This is Alton Havari, reporting for The Scope.
Yeah, so that was some interesting. So we'll see, I think it's like November 2nd that there's going to be an event that's going to be happening. But we don't know, right? At this point, we're not actually sure what will happen when it comes to this, crazy turn of events that's kind of happening. Will it explode? Will something else happen? Will they be able to stop it in time? Will they have some kind of event to be like, does it happen or not?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're like how they're going to tie that in, and are they going to have an evacuation event where, hey, help save people? I don't know. But it'd be interesting. If the sun does blow up, and then what? Where does the story go from there? You know, the station's gone, that moon's gone, or the planet's gone. Be curious, you know. More
I'm
lore.
interested to see, you know, they're altering the landscape of a star system in a drastic way, making it seem like these transmuters are dangerous. And there's...
Also, are there any systems with no stars? With no star?
No.
Yeah.
Every
So
system's got... I mean, maybe the black
would the
hole
system would the system go away, or would it become a black hole? Like, what would happen to the system? Like, you know.
Well, maybe that's like a thing that can happen too. Like, in a game, can this be something that's like you can turn your system into a black hole system? You know, by fucking up with the transmuter. Maybe it gives special, cool, you know, resources that'll come out of that system. But this seems to be like, this one seems to be more of like a permanent, you know, damaging kind of thing. Because I've heard about like system effects is something that this might be. The transmuters might be all about putting some kind of effect onto the system where you get bonuses to some things and minuses to the other. And that's something that, you know, maybe even Empire players will be able to play with. Or, I'm sorry, 0.0 players for their Empire version will be able to manipulate their terrain in their systems to make things advantageous for them. So there's a lot to kind of go on with that, but yeah, we'll see what ends up, what happens here. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this. It's really cool that they're kind of pumping out a lot of news as of late as to what's kind of going on in this arc.
I was just looking up, does Thera have a sun? I don't know that I've ever warped to it, if it does.
Oh, Thera... I feel like it does. I feel like everything has meet me at the sun. If there was like a no sun system, somebody would be like... But I mean, do black hole, like the wormholes that are black holes, is it a black hole? It's been a while since I've been to a black hole system. But in any case,
You mean a wormhole system?
Yeah, but there's a black hole. There's a black hole system inside the wormhole system.
Oh, inside the wormhole.
Yeah, because that's the you know, the effect that's... They have like different effects that happen in different wormhole space. Wormhole space is awesome, but very, very dangerous.
Yeah, it's nice to visit, but you don't want to live there. That's been my my take. Kind of like Podgefin.
Right.
I'll go, but I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
Just the logistics are such a pain.
But we also have in the news there was a Federation, or sorry, not a Federation, but there was a Frontline war game, you know, sponsored by Federation Frontline, of course. So the Frontline war game was on Singularity. I didn't get to participate in that, but it sounds like you know, there was a meeting of the Minmatar and Amar, I believe, and just fought using the mechanics that are currently available. So they have like different kind of structures. There's a structure that you can kind of place in order to make it easier. And the advantage system is all about whether or not your how much your Plex is worth towards taking control of the system. So bigger Plexes will be worth more. If you have more advantage in the system, it'll be worth more towards that contestation and taking of that space. And it seems like a lot of the rewards, instead of owning space, is really important for making LP, which is kind of stupid. It's more about owning space is much more important for deciding these events that are going on. And whether or not you're going to be... Because if you can't control that space at all, you might not be able to make that gate, or you might not be able to have access to new things that the Kaldari get into their elements, which could be, you know, money-based and stuff, but it's kind of a little bit farther removed than a direct injection of how much you would.
Yeah, I guess this war game's going on until November 4th at 1400 Eve time. So.
Oh, it's going on at November.
It's still going on. We haven't missed it. Apparently, it's from the 26th to the 4th. I just looked it up.
Oh, so it's.
I thought I missed it. I thought it was October 25th. I thought it was the one day.
I thought it was the one day too until you just said. So you actually you read.
It's on the. Yeah, if you actually read this stuff, I don't. Again, I need an astrology to explain it to me. It's the only way I'm gonna learn anything.
So that's a good thing to know. So we've got some days left. I'm gonna have to participate in that then. That sounds like a lot of fun to go check out these new mechanics, see how it's going to actually act. And I'm wondering if that means that there was a new update, because I knew that the first time iteration that they put on Singularity, they're like, this is definitely not like the finished works. This is just the beginning. But I'm wondering how much of the framework that we're actually using in this war game. So,
I think they're really looking for a lot of the bugs. They want us as Eve players to do what we do, and to how do we game the system? How do we break it?
Right.
And they're giving us the opportunity to do that. Go in there and see what we can mess around with.
Awesome. So good news. You can still participate in this war game. Go out there, have fun. I thought that it was going to be just here's 5 hours of intense testing of this system, but it sounds like it's they want it to be more nebulous, which makes a lot more sense. You don't want to you want to see what happens with us messing with it for days on end.
Yeah, but it is in Singularity, and it's with the Amar and Minmatar war zone specifically, which is another reason why I would have missed it, because I was over in the Kildari Calente when I was on Singularity. So, but yeah, let's go check it out. Maybe like Wednesday or Thursday.
And then we've got also, so just last week was Eve Vegas, and there was a lot of stuff that was announced at Eve Vegas that we haven't talked about because we did not have our show last week. So can you give us a little bit of a breakdown, Night Flyer, of what took place? Because you were at Eve Vegas reporting for the news.
I was the Federation frontline reporter, man on the street, and living it firsthand. I was a little upset because I was the only person I could find from Faction Warfare that was there, and the only person from my own from the network that was there. So a lot of people bailed out this year, and real life, just kind of kicked over. But it was a great weekend. We were really busy. I actually didn't gamble at all the whole time I was there, and we did venture out to go to a gentleman's club, but it just never happened. We got pulled away to do something else, and there you go. But
you saved yourself.
I was like the two things that I would go to Vegas for. Like, I didn't take part in either one of them. So, but yeah, it was great. We had the banquet, and I sent you those great photos about the new ships. They're like, oh, hey, here's a new destroyers, and like every phone in the place came out, and everyone's like taking video and snapping and texting stuff out. I think it took less than 3 minutes for something to get onto Reddit with it, but just so you know, so they were projecting this stuff onto the wall in the banquet hall where they just had like a quinceañera, so there was all sorts of just what you would have at a quinceañera. So that was the theme and the decoration that we had. But yeah, it was just shined onto a wall. Like, there was a screen, but nobody thought to pull the screen down to project on. So we just kind of had this grainy footage of, oh, here's the new Thrasher, and here are the breakdowns for it.
I remember when I saw posts on Reddit going up after I'd actually gotten the stuff from you. So that I knew that this was real, that was actually happening, but a bunch of people on Reddit were like, dude, what the hell? Like, you can come back and talk to us more when you have more than somebody just projecting onto their grandmother's wall. And like, people would come back, this is Vegas! No, it's really happening.
Yeah, I sent everything out to you first, and then my own alliance, so that's just where my loyalties lie. But that was the response, and I'm like, oh, cool. So you're gonna lose 2 weapons on the new catalyst. It was, these are very grainy. You couldn't have taken better photos. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, one, I was at a party, and I was doing what one does at a party. So, yeah, I just thought it was exciting. It was a great kind of break. So,
Canuck with his Amar victory. Thank you for always hanging out with us, Canuck. You're a fun guy, but man, you know, the Amar, just, I don't know.
but just slavers.
We've said
They are the chosen people, though.
They are the
so...
chosen, according to
They are chosen to be shot by my lasers. Their own lasers.
I do like their lasers. So
I love their lasers, and I love blowing up
and,
ships with their lasers.
Yeah, the Paladin
especially in Mars ships.
Really cool, especially with the like lightning effect that it has like right now for some kind of graphical fuck up reason. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so there was you said destroyers were talked about during that time period. There was also another big thing that they talked about with that actually affects 0.0 more than us, but that's the BRMs or whatever the hell is
that? The bounty risk modifier. So instead of having that drop down to 50%, it's actually being bumped up to 100%, and for a short time until the end, I think in November-ish, it's going to be 110%. So those people ratting out in
and that's live right now. So
yeah, they are being able to go back to what they were doing before and trying to make money doing that stuff. So
what you're saying is we need to go hunt them.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's the hope. I don't know. We were trying to take systems today in faction warfare as the network. It looked like most of the Galenta guys were out in Clown Ring, out in that area.
Oh yeah, Clown Ring.
Blowing stuff up. So
it distracts us from the war.
Right? What are they doing? But it was great to have them actually throw out that we know that it's going to be the Thrasher, the Cormorant, the Catalyst, and then the other one.
And I believe there are you can find out their stats. There are some stats out there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right now.
That stuff's all over. Yeah, you can see how it's going to break down. But yeah, you're going to have your gating Artie Thrasher. You're going to have your Cormorant with the range. The Courier is going to be your Newt armor ship, and then the Catalyst. Pretty much doing what it does now, only it's got an extra mid, and you're going to break it down to 2 guns, but you're going to get the gun bonus. So it's going to be more of an armor brawler than it will be the ganking ship. But then there was also the hack change, so specifically with the Munin. Yep. So the Munin is going to lose a lot of its bonuses, and now it's going to be more of a close-range missile ship.
Oh, yes, so yeah, completely changing the hard points that it has on it, and the bonuses that it has. And it gets a 3% armor and shield, isn't that correct?
Yeah, so it's gone from that long-range blaster, or with the autocannons to the, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, projectiles, to a closer-range missile ship. So it's changing the meta with that. Now, I've never seen anything like this, and I've only been playing 2.5 years. I don't know, you've been playing for 2 decades. If you've ever seen a ship make this big of a swing in its...
There's been some things that are close. The Prophecy becoming a drone boat, I think, was a pretty big switch up on it. Trying to think of a couple others out there, but really this is probably the most drastic change of a ship that I've seen. But there's been some ones that have been, pretty close. They've done some major modifications to ships over the years. But this seems to be like a really big swing all at once. And the switching it from laser to missile, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that has like switched its entire hard point system over to another weapon system.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. But the 3% shield and 3% armor bonus is kind of interesting, allowing it to be a shield or an armor ship if you want.
Yeah, I've never really flown them. I think I trained up to do it, but I don't know that I've ever been in a fleet that we're like, hey, let's take out Munins. So
No, it's a very 0.0 thing. You know, if you can get them in mass, they're insane.
I know I've had 100 of them dropped on me, but
Yeah.
out in the Great Wildlands, that was fun. Thank you. I think it was Pandemic Horde.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Thanks,
so, so there was one other thing that they did also announce at EVE Online that does have to do with faction.
Actually got 3. Well, the one was the husbandry thing, which we were kind of already aware of, but they're showing the emblems on ships. Yep. They're working on that right now. There is one emblem that's grandfathered in, which is kind of funny because it's just kind of like a scribble. But there's other ones that they need to just rework because they won't work well on the ships. They'll just come out looking blobby. So they're working on that. They've also expanded the number of corporate ship fittings you can put into your holding, which is huge. So well, it is for us too, because you know, in faction warfare and with the Noir and the network, is we do a lot of suitcase fits
and alliance fits now too. So, yeah, that's huge.
And then they're adapting a new overview that is based off of the Z and S overview that I think the vast majority of people who don't make their own overview are using. So it's nice to see that.
The
CCP
default one sucks really bad, and it's thank God they actually looked at what players have been making and been like, this is like the common one that everybody uses. I use a slightly different one, but it's the same kind of concepts. So that's what it means. It's robust, has a bunch of different options. Like you couldn't spend 5 hours sitting down as a playtester and be like, this is the overview. That here you go. But yeah.
Now it was also nice that they sent 3 representatives from CCP. Spider, and the other 2 guys. Should have wrote down their names because I knew I wouldn't know it when stream came up. So
was Swift there?
Yes, Swift, and then the other guy's name. I even talked to him for almost an hour. I'll have to look it up. But great guy. I know. I should have wrote it down. Apo something or other. But great guy. And we bent his ear. I went with a guy named Ghoster who was from INN, and he's a goon. Most of the people I hung out with were goons the time I was there. But we bent his ear for a while. We kind of planted the idea of corporate or alliance billboards that could be dropped. You know how people drop cans with, hey, this is whatever faction thing, and they have them at gates. So we're like, well, the mechanic already exists. So, what if you dropped one and it had a limited time, but you could put your alliance logo on it. And you could drop them, near gates or near stations or something like that. So
have them be able to be blown up by anybody with just like a suspect timer if it's high sec. Because then people come and shoot it, and you'd have to shoot theirs, and it just costs people because like this is my system. Well,
and it'd be the same as if I dropped a can or I dropped an MTU and labeled it at a gate. It'd be kind of the same thing. So you can shoot it; it'd be shootable.
Yeah,
but
no, that
might be a consequence for it. But
now we are getting
again, the concept is funny.
Kind of similar.
So I'm saying the mechanic's already there. It just kind of lays it out, and we even kind of like. You could build these, but to build them, like you would actually have to use Plex as one of the ingredients to formulate it. So you'd kind of put that restriction where you're kind of buying it in there. But again, we talked around. His biggest problem that he had with it was TTP. So he's like, how long would it take before we had penises everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, well, like 3 minutes. That's kind of that's usually it's the 3-minute rule. So
yeah. But there is also
if you limited it just to the ability to put your logo,
just like the regular husbandry stuff. Again, it's just a kind of an expanse on that. So again, the mechanic already exists. It's already there. The artwork already exists. So it's just a matter of putting those things together and letting people build them, pay for them, and drop them.
Yeah, I like. So they did also talk a little bit, or they showed a video of a faction destroyer, right?
Oh, that little thing? Yeah. So,
faction
as we mentioned,
Dreadnought. Sorry,
the
Dreadnought.
faction Dreadnoughts. What specific ones, I don't know. I'm not a Dread pilot. I don't know a lot about them, but all the Goons and stuff, I was sitting about like, oh, that's that, and this is that, and this is, yeah. So they're like, no, those are all Dreads. Those are Dread weapons. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So
yeah, they showed like just a video, right? Like a clip.
Yeah, it was literally just, and again, it's out there if you want to see it. I think it's on their eVegas website. It is. I'm looking at it right now. But it literally is just a clip of part of a ship. You're looking at, be like looking at a bumper and trying to identify what car it was. And that's really, so it's just a quick kind of grainy video of that. But yeah, that's the faction Dreads that we talked about earlier on the video, where they said the Dread things were, blueprints were possibly stolen, or technology was stolen. So again, these things all kind of tying in, and it's I think one of those things I just think is interesting with Eve.
Yeah, I do like the arc system where they give you these little tidbits and little things that are building up on this like storyline to like a major release, and then once you get to the major release, you've found out so much and you've like built up like and you can go in game and find a lot of this stuff too, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap it on up there. Thank you both for coming on, and very much enjoyed having a little talk about all the craziness that's going on, the battles that are happening. Even Losec is getting some fun, big fights. I mean, that wasn't that big in the scale of like what 0.0 sees, but the battle at Murethand, it was you can have some fun stuff, toys being thrown around, get that heart pumping. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. If you're interested in joining up with the war effort, put an application into Golden. That's GULDAN Age Stories in game. That is our corporation. Our alliance is the Federation Front Line, and you can also sign up with your corporation if you're interested in joining up with a corp that you have. You can always watch us live on Twitch every Sunday at 2200 Eve time. That's about 5 p.m. Central Time. And if you missed the show, live, you can watch it and listen to it on our podcast, the Federation Frontline Report. We've got that on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and pretty much any other podcasting platform. Oh, and Nightflyer found
Antiquarian, CCP Antiquarian. I feel so bad because he was the nicest guy, and listened to my drunken ramblings.
Probably listening to this podcast right now, going, "What the heck?"
Yeah, like that's the last time I go to an event and spend time with you drunken idiots. But just a quick shout out to Frozen and I met through a meetup, eVegas, another meetup. Just an opportunity to real life meet up with people who join the same interests and hobbies that we do. I met some fascinating people. January Valentine, who has been like a producer of Talking Stations, she was just fantastic. Just someone I admired, and finally got the opportunity to meet. It was great. So if you get the opportunity to get to some of these local meetups, take advantage of it.
Yeah, I highly suggest. Yeah, the Eve meetups are really cool. I've met a lot of really good people through Eve meetups. There's awesome parties, awesome just hanging out at. I've gone to Hooters. I've gone to bars and people's houses. It's been a blast meeting really cool, making some good friendships with a lot of people.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is keep your eyes open for Eve Madison.
Yes.
And potentially in Eve Chicago. So, and again, it might be just a simple, hey, we're going to be here at this night, show up. So,
yes, that is. Thank you for the push on that, because actually that is something that I have really want to get going at some point, and I think we can make our first announcement that at least in the year 2023, there is going to be some kind of Eve Madison meetup, Madtown meetup for Eve Online that I plan on working out. I just gotta make sure I get all the details in it, and it probably won't be in the winter because it's too fucking cold here. But in the summer, early spring, or early summer, late spring, is what I would like to shoot for. So we'll see though.
And
more
I
to
will be
update.
there, whether I have to drive or fly.
There we
myself.
go. You heard it here first. Samson will be at the Eve meetup. That is 100%. So Madtown, here we come.
Absolutely.
Also, check out our website, federationfrontline.com, for more information on our alliance, our podcast, and EVE Online, as well as all of our friends that have been on over the years. Because we're, getting 2 years almost. We've reached our first year of being a podcast, so this is our second season.
And we've been killing for almost 2.
Yes, that's true.
Together.
If you do have news that you'd like to talk about on the show, if you'd like to be a guest, if you want to talk about an after-action report or just give us a breakdown of an after-action report, definitely send that to me in-game. Frozen Fallout, FROZEN space Fallout, FALLOUT. Hit me up in-game. Thank you all. Have a great night.
Fly dangerously.
Ooh, that is the way that it should be.